So that's it started, right? So that's it. This will record us speaking, right? And I'll take down some notes, but I've kind of kept it quite secret, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know that. But I wanted to bring you here to talk about the Steamie. So the reason I brought you to Maryhill Park was because that was like one of the few places that were open during lockdown. Do you know what I mean, that we could actually go to. So the play The Steamie is about 4 working class women of different generations and personalities who are busy doing the last load of washing in Hogmanay in one of Glasgow's wash houses, the Steamie. They tell stories, reminisce, laugh, and there are tears in 1950s when change to the city would see their lives change forever. And it was out in 1988. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I wanted to use like the Steamie, we'll chat about that, and then, so start it off. Why do you think people love the Steamie so much?
Well, it gets them away for the children as well, and they can go down and have a blather with everybody
Yeah.
that's there. And you've got all the water you need, and you've got all the hot water you need. We didn't have any hot water. All the hot water you need, and then you can dry most of them. You pull out the dryers and dry most of them. But the bed covers and that, you went over to the big roller. It was a massive big roller, and put them through.
Mm-hmm.
And that took out some of the water as well, as they kind of flattened them, so you could get them back in the big basin.
You see that in the play as well, don't you?
Yeah.
So do you ever remember going to the Steamie?
Yes, I went with my mother.
What age were you?
I would be about 9.
9?
Aye, because anybody younger than that would be running about.
Mm-hmm.
You had to sit in the seat until your mother was ready to hang up the things, and you could hang them up with her, and then they closed the big heating rails.
Yeah.
And then she would go over to the big what do you call it? She would go over to the big rollers and put the sheets and that under that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you didn't get them all dried because you had your time. If your time was up, you had to go.
So you only had like a time slot?
Yes, yes.
Did you sign it up then? Do you remember?
Oh, she would go in the day before it and ask for a tub.
Yeah. That's cool.
But I just sat there. There was a wee bench like this, inside, and I just sat there, and I suppose there was other people before me in. But then when she said to me, "Come on," she says, "and you can give me a hand." I got up and.
Do you remember where was the Steamie in Maryhill?
Gabriel Avenue.
Oh yeah, because that's Maryhill Borough Halls now.
Aye.
Yeah.
No, you're not. No, the Borough Halls.
That across to the library.
The Steamie was in a. You could go along the canal bank and down, and it was on your left-hand side.
Yeah.
Just behind the big church.
And then, why do you think people love the play so much?
Pardon?
When the play came out? It was 1988.
Well, it just kind of brought things back, you know, and that's what would happen. Same with the wee women. If there was other people in there and the wee women couldn't get her things all done, they would just all come and help her to get them all in, you know, and everybody came out at the one time. Cheerio.
But I suppose that's like kind of one of the first plays where it's like there's like working class people in a play and they're the main characters. It's like, to me that's like, when people see themselves in theatre then they start getting interested. Do you know what I mean? They would start going, what other places can we go and see?
Well, but when my mother and I went, we had to go right down Maryhill Road and come up and get it that way. But then a while after that, because it was a canal and it was only the wooden walkways over, they done a cement one, so it was easier that way.
Oh yeah.
To come down, you know, to go round Maryhill Road and way up under the bridge and whatnot, you know, was quite a long journey. So that's what they done. They made a steel.
Yeah. Because I rewatched the Steamie in lockdown, but it always reminds me of you as well. Because I remember, was it One Hog May we were watching, and I think I was really young. I think Emma was there. I think Mum, you and Rosemary were watching it, and you were all laughing in stitches. And I thought, it's not that funny, because I didn't really understand it. And then you were all crying at one point as well. Remember that? Because there's like quite a sad bit in it, when the old woman's quite lonely.
Aye.
She talks about that.
That's right. Aye.
Yeah, so I watched it in lockdown, but it actually reminds me of how things change, because they all talk about the changes that are going to happen. You know, they're talking about all the things that happen in their houses, like the TVs, the washing machines. And then if you think about just now, it's like during lockdown, you know, we're all stuck in our houses, not getting to go for, like, you know, we would usually go for coffee. Like going to a cafe, you can't go to church. It's like, I can't go clubbing. But do you remember when those things came into the houses, like TVs?
My mother got money from America. Two of her aunties emigrated to America, and one of them had died. And the one that was still there had wrote to my mother saying that she was going to pass on some money to her from the other auntie, and that's the only reason we get the television, or we wouldn't go to it at all. And it was one of the
boxes.
Yes.
That's quite funny.
And it was up on top of the drawers, and it wasn't a big kitchen we were in, so we had our chairs, you know, like as if you were in the pictures, you had the chairs.
That's quite funny. So what was your house like then?
Well, it was a room and kitchen, and there was an inset bed in the kitchen, quite a big room. We were in, the double bed was in that room.
Whereabouts was it as well? Like, was it in Maryhill?
Maryhill Road, aye. 1751.
1751.
That was the address.
Is it still there? The tenement?
No. That's where they're building.
Oh, down by...
That's where they're building, you know, coming along that way. See where the bus stop is?
Aye.
That's where close would have been.
Oh, right.
Aye. And there was a pub opposite, and when it was time for the pub to come out, we all went to the window to see the most stragglers along the road.
That's funny.
But there wasn't the pubs weren't opened on the Sundays, I say, and they had to go away and I can't remember where it was to get the bus and on a Sunday and go in and get their beer and whatnot. And
there's a bit of that in the Steamie as well, when they talk about other men getting drunk.
I think did she not have beer in there or something?
Aye, there's what is it? Is it port or is it sherry? They drink it.
Aye, that's right. Aye.
But the guy Andy's he's quite drunk in it already the whole day.
Because people going in as just go to it and just giving them cans, you know.
Yeah, because they talk about going to the barras, innit? Going to the Barrowlands. Did you ever go there?
Aye. The Barrowland was, I think it's about the first dance hall, and it was just run for the barras.
Yeah.
It was just run for the barras, and an awful lot of people went to the Barrowland, and then another one opened up. What was the name of the other one? But it was two big ballrooms in that end of Glasgow, you know.
I mean, it's still used. Like, well, obviously not just now, but still go to it as well.
That's right.
'Cause it's all gigs now.
It's been kind of cut down.
Yeah.
It's
all music, kind of bands and stuff.
Yeah. And it's got a stage, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we never had a stage.
So it was just the one.
It was just the whole thing, and in the middle of it was the group.
Right.
They were on the floor as well, you know, in the middle of it. We didn't have. They had beer in that, you know. You could go to that side to get your drink of beer and whatnot. But
did you ever go to it?
Barrowland?
Yeah.
Oh aye. And it's quite funny. You had to leave your bag at your feet.
In case somebody stole it.
Dancing in your bag, because mostly it was handbags. It wasn't wasn't bags you could put
Yeah,
in.
round you.
It was wee handbags you had to.
Who did you go with?
I went with the girl in the next close,
Mhm.
girl in the other close. The three of us went together. Never drank really. And then when I got older and got married, we had a knitting bee, and we always kind of saved up our money till it came at the end of the year, and we would go into the Barrowland. And this wee guy was following me all over the place. I could not get rid of him. And then I says to them, "Look, I'm going." I says that she's annoying me. So he came out with us.
God.
He came out with us, and he was shouting along the road, "Jessie, hey Jessie, come here." And the next day, we were in Summerson, and the lassie in the top flat, she came round the corner. She said, "That wee guy's looking for you."
Is he from Maryhill?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just never asked him. He just clung on, you know.
Run away.
Aye.
That's funny. Did you shop in the Barras as well? Because that's still open as well.
Aye. If it was mostly clothes or that, you went down to the Barras, because they really were. One of my aunties, she was doing there all the time. If it was a material as well, you went to the Barras.
Yeah.
You didn't get any shops or anything like that. You went to the Barras.
But you worked in a shop, didn't you?
Aye, I worked in the chemist at the Round Toll.
There's a photo of that actually. Let me show you. That was that old photo album that you gave me.
Was it?
Yeah, there's a photo of. I'm trying to see if. There was an old photo of you in it. I think it's the shop. Can you see it?
Oh, aye, that's it.
Mhm.
Aye, covered in stuff. And that was getting shut down, so I went up to the, what do you call it, the place that gives out all the stuff? Up to Saracen, and to the, oh God, what was the name of it? Anyway, they come down, one of the bosses came down and said that we were getting shut, and I just thought, well, I'll just get into another shop, you know.
Mhm.
And he said, "Why don't you come up and work in the factory?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know." And they were saying, just go up, you get better money than you go in the shop anyway, you know. So that was my last job.
Yeah.
That was my last job till I get married. I went back when I get married, and then it wasn't long till I was pregnant.
Mhm.
So it was me shops up in the Maryhill Road. I would go into in the afternoon, you know, for a couple of hours or what, but that was it.
Yeah. Because they're all more independent shops as well, like small businesses. Because that's so. Try to do that after lockdown. It's like shop local. What do you think of that?
Aye.
Because it's like, instead of going to a big supermarket, it's like all the small businesses.
But the supermarkets are cheaper. That's why everybody
That's the thing.
goes.
Mhm.
That's why everybody goes.
And it's easier as well.
It's easier.
It's more
easier.
efficient.
You get more room. Some of the shops you have to stand in a queue, and to get in, especially on a Friday when they got their pay money,
Yeah. But I think after lockdown, it's like you see a wee campaign as well, like shop local. So it's like support local businesses.
Aye, because they'll get run down.
Yeah.
A lot of them will open up again.
Yeah.
Especially because it's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's not just been
more
a
than a
month
year
or
now,
something.
isn't it?
Aye.
Yeah. Mhm. What was it? What that time Asda had opened as well, opposite you,
Aye.
with Rosemary.
I couldn't believe. I mean, there were still huts because they were still digging.
Yeah.
There were still huts. There wasn't actually a big street like that,
Yeah.
and it was kind of mould. And I seen her coming over, and I thought, oh God, I wonder who's good at that. And I went. We were doing the stairs at the time, and I went. I went, how you? She went, look, look. I went, look, Kate. And I closed there again. And I knew I had to go there because I don't think she would have went. But there was a man at the door.
Yeah. She thought everything was free.
Aye. Look what I've got. Go now, and you'll get off. I said, they're not as after as what you are.
That's so funny.
Aye, because it used to be counters, and you couldn't actually lift anything,
But yeah, I suppose you'd never have that much choice either.
No, that's right. That's how she was realised.
Yeah, it must have been confusing, this excitement. So when did you move to Summerston? Because that's quite new. That's not like Maryhill, like, is it?
No. We moved into Summerston. I'm trying to think what age they were. I think the two of them were there. The last child I was in Summerston. Aye, the last one I was in Summerston, and I can't remember. Rosie kind of took care of them, take them out of hospital. So that was who was the last one?
My mum.
Aye.
What year was that? So that was. But Summerston wasn't built, was it?
Aye. I was in Summerston.
Yeah, but like before. That's when you were growing up. It wasn't a thing.
I think maybe that was built first. That's Acre. That was built first, and then I think they were going to build the same building, but then changed their mind, and it was closes.
Yeah.
And then away at the back, it was wee cottages and whatnot,
Yeah, I'll try to see if there's some stuff in my. I've been keeping this notebook, it's all like my research and stuff. Stuff that I remember. What about Hogmanay? Obviously, the Steamie, the play's set in Hogmanay, isn't it? It's like.
That's right.
Obviously, Hogmanay's changed as well, and like the traditions that you do and stuff.
People don't bother with getting their washing all done because you've got washing machines in the house now. You don't,
it's less
you
of a
don't
thing.
need to bother. But Hogmanay was a time you had to go. In fact, my mother had to lift the under sheet off my dad while he was lying in bed, but she didn't like, pulled it off. Well, she said, I need to get them all done now. And then she came in and took hers. There was only a double bed in your room, and the three of us slept in a double bed. And then she said to me, you get dressed, get your breakfast, and just wait your time, she said, and then come down. I said, okay.
Yeah. No, but even like how we celebrate it, like, I mean, obviously this year I remember I was working, but there was no parties or anything.
Aye. And that's a lockdown right enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think most people drink anyway. They maybe at tea time have a drink with whatever meal they're having. It's no that was never done at all. And you never drank in the house, you say, unless you were a, what do you call them?
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, but I remember we always used to go to yours for.
Aye.
Not Hogmanay, actually, it was New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
Have steak pie.
Aye, that's right.
Then we don't really do that anymore, just.
No.
Don't celebrate it as much.
Aye, and the steak pie, you had to order your steak pie because it was a bigger. You had to order it, and I think it was a butcher. Where would I? Oh, aye. It was a butcher at the car running into them when I was knocked down.
What?
My dad sent me across to the cobblers for his his shoes, and it must have been a Sunday because none of the shops were opened bar the cobblers, and there was cars here and cars here all parked. I never even looked, I just run across the road when a car hit me. I went right into the butcher's.
Into the butcher's?
Right into the butcher's.
God.
And I was frightened to go in there all the time, and they kept saying
No wonder.
aye, right into the butcher's. Because I don't know, I thought if I peeped through it would get knocked in.
Yeah.
You know, big cars, and he's sending me across the, I left the shoes. He came down and carried me up. But there wasn't anything, it was a bump, and the shop got the most of it.
Yeah, because you watched the Steamie and Rosemary on Hogmanay, didn't you? That year? And we went to see it in the Hydro as well.
That's right, that's right.
I've got the photo of that as well, actually. I'm trying to think of what it is. That one.
Oh, wow.
That was actually just like 4 months before lockdown. Because the lockdown was in March.
That's right. You were your own share.
Yeah. Red! And so when we come out of lockdown, do you think the same will happen? So, you know, in the 50s there was lots of changes to how pubs and all that changed, and the Steamies all closed down. Because obviously, if you think about shopping as well, like loads of people do online shopping now.
That's right.
And so many of them are closing down as well.
But I think they'll find that the online's not that great because they'll just throw things in that they, you know, if it's a date that's coming up in a couple of days, they'll throw that in, you know.
Yeah. Even getting to try stuff on as well.
Aye,
stuff
that's
like
right.
that.
That's right. You can't try unknown at all.
There's another thing I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, so when we came out of lockdown, slowing down as well.
Aye,
Like a work-life balance.
Aye, that's right, that's right.
Because I suppose that was what that time would have been like as well. You think about it, because even though the Steamie, do you know what I mean? It's like quite labour intensive, you know, kind of. It's quite physical, having to put all your work in.
Aye,
But at least you had time to sort of socialise and stuff.
That's right, that's right.
Because then the old woman, she talks about being quite lonely.
Aye.
And how it's all changed even in her time. She talks about that, and then she gets all upset and stuff because everything's sort of changing. She sees it all happen. You kind of see that just now. It's like more people are how to do things online, and they're on their own.
Aye, and people that are married and don't have children, like that woman in Steamie, it's hard for them.
Yeah.
If the hubby dies first and they're left, they feel people are not wanting to take them anywhere because they've not got a man, kind of thing, you know.
It's quite a nice day. There's another thing I wanted to show you as well in my sketchbook. Oh yeah, 2014, the Commonwealth Games. There's loads of changes happened in Glasgow then as well.
The what?
The Commonwealth Games.
Oh,
that was in 2014. That was when, you know, in Kilmarnock, when they changed and they like knocked everywhere down.
That's right, that's right.
For the Athletes' Village.
It was supposed to have made a lot of money for Glasgow, but I don't think so. Because they had to do a lot of things with their money.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of people say, isn't it? It's like we don't see it.
No, that's right. That's right. And then they had the villages for the ones that were coming.
Yeah. There's lots of artwork for reminders. I'm actually going to photograph them, but see all the murals.
Yes, aye.
It's like all the sporting murals.
Uh-huh.
I was going to photograph them as part of the artwork. What about art as well? I mean, obviously, are you interested in art?
No, not really. No.
But that's the Steamie.
I couldn't even fucking draw, honest to God.
That's the thing about the Steamie, is that there was working class people, so they saw themselves in it, so they were interested in it. But I think that's what I'm kind of interested in, is like with art, is like, you know, there's not that much, people aren't that interested because they don't, it's so different. I mean, it's, they don't see themselves, it's not accessible, I should say.
Oh no, I was no good at art at all. And when it came to painting your pictures, oh God. I don't know how many times I was shouted at.
Yeah. But even if you think about like writing as well, like in books, obviously you read, but you know, we were talking about that book the other day. Remember that How to Do Nothing thing?
Aye,
And some of it,
aye,
you know, but it was the wording, because you said it was just too jargon.
That's right, that's right. Aye.
But actually you'd probably believe some of the things they were saying, but it's just kind of overcomplicated stuff.
That's right, that's right.
But it's like books like, you know, like Shuggy Bane, like that book that I gave you, like stuff like that, that's like, oh, well, that kind of, people can see themselves if they become more interested in it.
Very quiet, isn't it?
It's not that busy up here, but it's quite busy over there.
Oh, aye, because of the swings for the vegans. Catch the dogs.
Well, I wonder if you want to get a photo.
Pardon?
We'll get a photo.
Can you?
I'll show you how to work the camera.
You did show me.